Are we on? Oh my lord, we're on. Okay, so I don't know how this format is working, but I'm enjoying it. So if I'm enjoying it, I'm spreading it. And as soon as I started expressing myself more, I've noticed that I'm getting a lot more downloads and good vibes and all sorts of happy things. Happy things. So it's such a fine day outside over there in the sunny early summer, spring, that it's hard to keep clothes on. It's just my skin wants to fly free in the sun, on the grass, on the under the blue sky. It is absolutely amazing. Um, I was thinking just now about the following situation I've run into. So my brother is almost done with building a sort of a beach house, a vacation home, and he asked me to make if I can make some windsurfing related art for his living room. And I got into it. I started with the canvases and looking for images, and it just doesn't feel quite right because I don't know um, what what they would like, in a sense. Like, the connection isn't good enough. So it wasn't going quite well. It's a lot of tension, so to speak. Like, should I do this? Should I do that? More in this direction, more in that direction. And the following came to me as a sort of instant download just earlier on. It's something that Bashar said. Um, Basically, you should just follow the path of least resistance. Do every moment of your life what you prefer to be doing, just what comes naturally to you, and just let everything flow by itself. Trust network, trust the universe, trust all that is. Um, and the thought that really came to me is the following. If it's boring or tense to you at any one moment, it's not your job, at least at that moment. And really try to get that to sink in. Like, if it's not your highest enthusiasm, if it doesn't flow well at that moment, then you have other stuff to get out of the way before it will flow free and just go of its own, path of least resistance. It will just materialize in super awesome fun. To connect this with my bird knowledge, it would be something like this. I'm thinking, for instance, mating, right? Sex. Like, if you try to tell people when to do this, and it's either too early for them or too late for them, they won't care about it. It's not their thing. It will be either too yucky or repulsive or whatever. Oh, girls, if you're like 12, right? Or it will be, if they're too old for this, if they're not, their brain isn't on that frequency at that time, it'll be, oh yeah, I don't know, I have other things to do, and da-da-da. So I'm saying, if we judge like what birds do, we sing and we dance, we send signals of a certain kind or another, we eat and we drink and all that, then each of these jobs that we have comes at a certain timing. There's a time to do it when it just flows free, right? You sing because you like to sing. It's not because you have a appointment to sing at 6 p.m. or something. Same for dancing, same for everything. Actually, same for making videos, because I want to make this channel into something more productive. And it goes like, you can't tell a bird when to sing. It will sing, like when it comes from within, it will be unstoppable. It will sing even if you just point a gun at its head and tell it not to. It will still just sing, let it out. It's the thing to do at that time. And I think this is a really important thing to grasp. This, if it's boring to you, then it's not your job, because so many people get stuck or keep themselves stuck in doing something that's boring for them, and they just keep at it. They just brute force it. They just, oh yeah, no, I used to do this quite a lot. I'm a painter. Oh, I should paint more. But come on, man, there's a flow to life. I'm not just a painter. I'm a wizard. I'm a dancer. I'm a bird, right? I have to sing and dance and fly and play with other birds and be social. And if I get my energy up by doing all the things that my heart tells me to do, at the time it tells me to do them, then there will be also enough energy for painting, for drawing, for any kinds of things. If you're wondering about this dude here, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is just a fragment of drawing of mine. uh, as you can see, it can be a smiley here or a guy with a drum here, but actually what it was initially, it was just a blank shape made with a pen in a larger drawing, which I guess would be this drawing here. Yeah. So this dude, yeah, just came here to hang out. And now, because of this video, a doodle that just randomly happened at that time is now spread out, spreading its signal all over the internet. Which brings us to how nature does things. Like, why is this here? Why is this guy here? Spreading its, infesting the internet with itself. You can see that these things are like bird decorations on the head, and I would say that everything in nature does the same thing. Oh, you don't see this guy because of the webcam. This guy, this guy does the same thing, right? So, what's the job of this guy? Maybe smiling and drumming and doing other stuff. What's the job of this guy? Yeah, whatever. Look at any bird in the forest. What is its job at any one time? Well, you know, making song, making dance, eating, spreading seeds and pollen and stuff. And so I'm thinking it's really important that we chill out with all the preconceptions and preconceived ideas about what should happen when and so on and so forth. If it's boring, it's not your job. If it's boring, it's not your job. Your job is to do what gives you a sense of magic. Whatever comes to you to do, like a fantastic situation. So another thing that hit me is, again, I was thinking about, well, not just sex, but let's say male-female connection, right? Male-female connection under a certain age may be of no interest to you. You may be shy, you may be whatever. Like, your brain isn't in that phase yet. If anybody tries to force you to get into something before your own self tells you to go in that direction, it will probably be poorly timed. You'll have resistance. I mean, you'll feel that they're trying to impose a certain thing on you that you're not ready for, and so on. So, you told me about girls at 13 or 12 or anything, I wouldn't see the point. What's the point of dealing with girls? It just brings up massive internal issues for me, all kinds of weird mom issues and whatever. So I would say, yeah, go away, you're stupid, leave me alone. But now I'm saying, having seen some time pass, it's not just a hobby for me. It becomes almost like a central, like a center of my life. If I go someplace and I see what I consider to be a genuinely nice, attractive girl that I'm so like clean mind and body and all that, and I see that next to her she's with some what I would consider a wuss, a moron, a time waster, anybody that doesn't have a proper dance or song in themselves, it becomes like a grave universal injustice. Like, I feel that area of the universe of reality is literally distorted. It is wrong. It is like I must come up with a magical song and dance and do something to disabuse this young woman of her delusions that that guy is okay to be next to stay with, right? It's not just, oh, this would be nice if this would happen. No, it's like, I must do this. I will expend energy, at least mental energy, to figure out the thing. but more likely I will expend some kind of physical energy. I will juggle, I will dance, I will say hi, I will do something to right this wrong that to me is being undertaken. And if you zoom out to a certain um, top-down view above us, the humans, you can see that every being alive, everywhere, at every level of magnification or scale or anything, does the same thing. Okay, like when a female, like a male pigeon, sees a female with another male, and he really likes the female, and um, it's the same exact feeling that I'm getting or that you're getting. That it's like there's something in the brain of this young species, not very complex, but it tells him this instinct that tells him, hey, if I let the universe play out like that with those two together, then this and this and this much more awesome thing won't happen, right? And we have this capacity, I think, to intuitively feel drawn to awesome things. Like, I think in a really grand scheme of things, we are drawn to the potential for having, for instance, awesome offspring, babies with this or that female. Like there's something inside ourselves that tells us my facial features with this one, my voice with this girl's voice will, if you blend it, it will sound so melodious and awesome that the songs that our children will make will be so epic that, oh my God, the universe and the gods will rejoice, right? And we hear these things in people's voices, right? We see them when we look at them, and there's that radiance in the eyes or in the face or in anything. It's and I'm saying, if we just ride this connection of things that make us feel awesome, be they activities, hobbies, mates, partners, friends, whatever, I think there's a method to that. I think while you're riding that flow, while you're in proper timing on doing these actions that keep you in the flow, I think then you'll be with the universal Tao, right? You'll have the universal stream of life and consciousness at your back. You'll have the wind supporting you in the way you're going. So everything in nature does, I think, something like this. And okay, I'll bring this video in. Why not? I was looking at this particular video. Let's make it visible. Hold on. Well, anytime now. So you can see what's happening, and also, yeah, you can watch the whole video if you want an Aztec dance. But what I'm saying is, in the bird way of seeing things, boy, is this distracting now? Trying to speak over the awesome dancer. In the bird way of seeing things, we have a cycle. We eat, we play, we sing, we dance, we go around each other, we go around ourselves like this. We move in a certain way. And if we follow our own instinct and do our dances at the time we feel like doing them, we just gather momentum, we gather energy, we gather alignment, if that makes sense. When our whole brains become aligned, and although logic may say, oh no, less dancing, more work or anything else, I think that's not quite correct. If you over focus on just one region of your head and don't keep things balanced in your neurology, whatever you do, it will basically take the wind out of you, take the song out of you. You'll be able to work and make money, but it will be no song and dance like this fine young lady here, like everybody here. Uh, some of them are quite out of it. Haven't danced in a while, probably. Um, so I'm saying there's ways to do things, jobs, paintings, relationships, anything, with music and dance or without. And I'm saying that when you're trying to do them without, you will need substances out there. You will need tobacco, you will need alcohol to basically silence that part of the head that you've disconnected from because you've tried to just amplify one signal in your head, just work or just whatever. Whereas if you reconnect to the bird wisdom of doing everything that comes to you to do, or the Bashar wisdom of just doing whatever feels right at that moment, I think you will start to rebalance various areas of your brain with each other, and then whatever you do from then on, whether it's work, sales, contracts, just paying attention, you will come into it with proper energy, with more of yourself, more balanced, more connected. And if there's stuff that you can't do this with, if there's jobs that you just don't want to do this with, you will quit them. You will move on. You will at least start to find ways to move on. And this will release you. I don't know what this is here, but let's keep playing with it. Oh my lord. So I'm gonna say a little bit about my my history so far, because I think this is important. I think this is important. I think this is information that's trying to get out from network. It's trying to spread, and I'm just a channel here transmitting it. I like these things a lot. I think I've had many lifetimes of doing this in these areas like Peru and Mexico and so on. And since about 2012, I've been really wanting to go there for the ayahuasca and other things. And I haven't been able to go there yet. But there was a very deep wisdom to why not. Initially, I just thought, oh, not enough money. Okay. But for other things, I did have money for going to the Netherlands and learning other things and other dances. And even if I haven't gone here yet, my God, the costume is beautiful. Even if I haven't gone there yet, I can say that, well, I've learned a deeper magic that you can make your own songs and dances where you are with what you have. And I think this is the universal wisdom. Because if I could function only while I have Peruvian ayahuasca, I think that's a pretty limited, non-versatile bird, right? If I'm a wizard and I can only work if you give me my 3 magical ingredients, or if I'm a juggler that can only juggle with this highly precise dimension of juggling balls, if I can't do it with eggs or rocks or anything else, then I'm not really a juggler, not really. And I think the universe will yield its rewards to us like without limit, as long as we understand its songs and dances, as long as we understand its signals, as long as we don't try to impose our limited signal on what it's trying to do in the grander scheme of things. Okay, so I'm saying for me personally, my initial idea was, and this is still pertaining to boredom and jobs and everything, was okay. I saw psychedelic artists like Alex Gray and Randall Roberts, and I figured, okay, this is something that I would like to do as a job, as a profession. Like, you ask some people, they want to be doctors, lawyers, firemen, whatever. I want to be, or at that time I wanted to be just a psychedelic artist. I'll go to school, I'll learn painting, I'll do whatever. But um, I figured that it didn't quite work, or at least not as expected. Um, like I could paint some things, and then my energy would drop, and I would drop for to months of just being blah, trying to paint from a state of blah, if that makes sense. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I want to paint something. Okay, I'll paint a dragon. I'll paint, yeah. I'm such a happy psychedelic tripper. I'm gonna paint eyeballs because Alex Gray paints eyeballs, you know. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what you're painting at all. Um, your painting will carry with it and inside it your precise emotional state and energy state at the time of making it. Like precisely, very, very precisely. And people will pick up on that. And you will be precisely as successful with your art or with your sales or any endeavor of any kind of work or anything as you are aligned with it. So the more of your brain and your physiology and everything you bring behind this thing, the more your song and your art and your visuals will be like wholesome, right? Complete. They will be balanced and look healthy. And people are really attracted to that. And the more you are forcing yourself as opposed to playing with it, the more it feels forced. And people, if they're smart at least and perceptive, they will not buy a painting that looks forced. They will not buy a painting that looks tense. They will not buy a t-shirt or anything else that looks overworked, overly tense, overly whatever. And I have something like this actually. Sorry for breaking up the dance, but we have business to attend to. Let's see here. I'm gonna try this on for size. So this, for instance, I wanted to make a Terence McKenna t-shirt, psychedelic t-shirt, like this. Okay. It's something. Okay, it's something. This is the design. This is the back. It's got molecules and it's got all the right things in it, but you can also see it's got problems. It's got, for instance, maybe the centering is not quite proper. It's a little bit slightly to the left. And if you're looking, well, it's like these things, they look a bit messy. You know, it's not like a master crafted situation. It's got some compositional issues. It's not perfect, okay? It's something, but it's not perfect. Now, this particular thing, I expect will have precisely the amount of success sales-wise, if it even gets printed ever, that I've managed to put into it. Okay, so I imagine that if I make 5 more of these, 10 more of these over time, then the next one will take me less time to make, and it will look more smooth, streamlined, clean. Okay, and people will go for that one over this one. Generally speaking, and everything we do has this sense to it. I want to show a drawing made by a client of mine. When I say client, I mean anybody that has paid me for what I call wizard work, which is to go inside their heads and help them with emotional issues and find solutions that they're not seeing and so on and so forth. This is the drawing. I hope it's visible. This was made by a female, a girl. She worked at the time at least in SEO, like search engine optimization, and blogs and websites and stuff, just working with traffic, working with trying to bring customers and traffic from Google and whatever. And you can see that the center is like a palm tree with happy times on a beach and more palm trees and sun and beautiful things. This is a globe. I'm assuming it's the idea of travel internationally, a smile, the idea of being happy. And this is her at the time. She'll probably see this video, so I hope she doesn't shoot me in the head for sharing this. I mean, I'm not giving any names. But this is basically her at the time of making this drawing, right? So what came to me was, okay, do you know as a girl when guys give you this look, when they crave you and want you, but instead of playing or doing anything chill, they just sit there in craving and I want this and you feel these weird, dissonant, unmelodious vibes. You feel the tension here in the forehead and it's only tense. And how likely are you as a girl to give that guy the time of day, to go spend time in that tension, right? And I'm saying that if you as a girl or a guy won't deal with people who have this kind of attitude, please realize that the universe won't either. Because to give you the things you want from this particular emotional state would teach you that this is a good approach to have. That ruining your organs with cortisol and tension and irregular heartbeat and irregular breath patterns and frowning and making what do you call these things that you wrinkles. If the universe here, network, if they would give you the good stuff after behaving like this, you would basically gather momentum in behaving like this. And the way network is upgrading, as I feel at least, the way it's evolving, it doesn't really look for this kind of thing. That's why in mating, in the mating games of any species, this kind of approach rarely works. You have to literally overpower and rape the girl, I suppose, and which is, yeah, may happen in various species, but it's not happy times. It's not all that sustainable. It's not fun to live life that way. So while we're at it, this is the next drawing after that. So literally minutes after doing the analysis of that drawing, just the emotional things involved and how it's not flowing, some energy is not flowing, she made this drawing. Now you can see this is a very, very different vibe. This is a female that has come to terms with her feminine aspect more, which is more passive but also more beautiful, and she doesn't have to do the running and the right. It's a very in the yin yang sense, a very young male kind of approach. That's not optimal for a female to get into for too much. And you see this thing where it's a drawing that's more playful and balanced. And boy, I hope this is visible. We just have fish in a siren here. So I'm saying network and life wants us to be like this, to rebalance, to find our center, to be emotionally chill, relaxed, playful, swim in the water, dance, show our colors, just play with it. What else do we have here? This is some of my colors. Yeah. While we're in this stream of consciousness here, I'm gonna say I have some of my own issues with too much tension, not enough movement, not enough dance, but I'm working on it. And I do dance a lot more than the local people here. Dance, cheer, and howl and everything, but compared to a bird, for instance, it's I still have things to learn. All this basically cometh from the Book of Love and the opening of the heart. Yeah. I think one way to untangle myself emotionally and neurologically to just get on with it, to do my business of making art and songs and wisdom and whatever, is just to share this here. For instance, the good things come to those who listen. This is one T-shirt idea. I was listening to a Bob Marley song, and one verse was "Good things come to those who wait," and I disagreed with that because I think you don't have to just wait; you have to actually listen, which is more active. Um, yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening. Give me some sort of feedback. Join me on Facebook, as I'm gonna open up the group pretty soon, and it will be possible to do so. And I'll see you in my next videos.